They've made a map, haven't they, for the for the universe?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, as far as they can. Yeah.
Big is it?
It's massive.
Yeah.
But if you're that lost, do you know what I mean? Forget the
map's
map.
not going to help you. Sure.
If you're that lost, forget it. Look, we're never going to make it. We're not going to live 400 light years. We're not going to... Of course, you could take a shortcut through a wormhole, couldn't you?
What's that?
Oh, no! Let's not talk about the universe, please. Let's talk about something that you can comprehend, Carl.
Well,
Were you on Richard and Julie yesterday?
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah.
It's a bit surreal.
Is it?
Yeah. It's nice. That's nice though. There's something charming about them. Do you know what I mean? They go off on tangents. They sort of digress. They suddenly think of something. She suddenly go, oh, my jumper's itching or something. You know.
Yeah.
And it's quite charming. It's not annoying at all.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen it through before. And I hope I didn't insult them because I said it was like an adult Blue Peter.
Right.
But
In what way?
Well, they had a Christmas wrapping competition.
Right.
Then they had
a Christmas wrapping competition.
And then they had
that wasn't them doing kind of
then
hip-hop.
they had what the French people are like. There was a little didn't quite understand that living in France. Then they had a woman who relived an Elizabethan Christmas. The bit that made me laugh was she was sort of announcing this through an Elizabethan microphone and PA to all the people sitting around dressed as.
I'm a bit confused. Like, this sounds fascinating.
It was good though, and at the end I said, next week I'll be washing a tortoise and that, and the producer said, if you do want to make something for the show, we'll definitely feature it. So I might make some of those things that you spoke on Blue Peter, like send in, sort of, you know, I remember they made a chest of drawers out of 3 matchboxes.
Yeah.
For Barbie doll or something, or Action Man.
I seem to remember them showing you how to make a dusty bin once.
What, on
Yeah.
Blue Peter?
I made one, I remember making one.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched Blue Peter, obviously, for, like, 25 years,
Yeah.
but is it the same sort of thing?
I think it's pretty much the same now, yeah. They sort of, occasionally they'll have kind of, larger sort of dramatic scenes, so that all the cast will kind of act out sort of murder mysteries and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit more of that going
Do
on.
they
There's
still
a
have
lot
the
more
Kodo
bands.
drummers from Japan
I
over?
think the Kodos come on like twice a week.
With the shiniest buttocks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Greased, they're in like sort of nappies or whatever they call them, and they're playing the drums, and you see them from behind playing these big drums, and they've got shiny buttocks. The lights really pick up their arses.
I think because they've kind of funked it up since we were younger, because I remember it was always stuff like, let's have a look at this traction engine.
Yeah.
Or let's drive some traction engines, one very small, a slightly larger one, then you need a really larger one, and we'll just drive them around the studio
No,
for a
because
bit.
you're going up Nelson's column with Shep.
Yeah.
You might die, you might not.
But I always wondered if perhaps the people in charge were not perhaps down with the kids, when they were
I
saying, what
think
we
they
going to do
were.
this week, let's have a look around a traction engine.
Exactly.
That's what the kids of the early 80s want.
But they did used to sneak in education, whereas Magpie, that was just like funky people who were sort of really in the 70s.
Never watched Magpie.
No,
Never
I know
watched
I got it wrong as well. I did used to watch it, but I used to watch Blue Peter. I think I was conned.
I always feared, because see, with the Blue Peter, I felt like I was learning something. I imagine on Magpie it was just, you know, Mr. T came round or whatever. It was a lot more cool, was it?
It was a little bit more cool, yeah, and a lot more throwaway, and it was sort of like, Magpie was sort of like Looking.
Right,
on telly.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
What happened to Looking?
Don't know, it used to be the Junior TV Times, I don't know. There's probably people listening who've never even heard of Looking.
Is that what it was?
Apparently so.
But there was cartoons and things.
Yeah, it was just basically an advert for ITV, Looking.
Oh, was it?
Almost entirely, yeah.
And did it have like a Laurel and Hardy strip or something?
No, it would have things like the story of 5 Star.
Really?
And,
is it like the ones in the News of the World?
Not dissimilar.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had 5 kids. Next picture. Bought one of them a guitar.
Yeah.
Next one. We're at number 7.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Next week, Tina Turner.
I love the fact that 5 Star is still touring. There's only 3 of them now.
Really?
They're still called 5 Star.
Really? Yeah, I thought there was 4 Boney M's at one point. Tribute acts, that each one of them had a... And then there was a 5th, who was someone who wasn't the original member of one of the Boney M's, who set up a splinter group. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know how many there are now.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what we should do on this show as well, is have a doctor.
Right,
Just sitting in the
you're
corner.
worried about your health?
No, just so when Carl says, why are your bollocks there, the doctor can now go, well, let's ask doctor.
Right.
And he goes, they're there because I know. And we need a
Is
vet
Dr.
as well.
Fox available?
we need a doctor, probably a vet, some sort of vet, or a naturalist would be good. And what else? Oh, and a physicist or something, or an astronomer. What do you think, Carl?
I'd love that.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Is there any doctors listening? Of course there are, as if a doctor would listen to this. If you are a doctor, I want a qualified doctor. I don't mean someone who's in their 2nd year at medical school. We're not interested in that. Right, a qualified doctor, a GP, or any specialist, and you maybe want to contribute regularly, give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll even give you a special phone line and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Not for now, though. We're going to get a lot of mentalists, aren't
I
we?
would adopt a nom de plume, an alternative, identity, because your patients are going to flee if they find out you listen to this.
Exactly.
tripe.
What's the phone number, Carl?
Well, they might as well just email in with the number, mightn't they?
That's because you don't like answering the phone.
No, I just think it's a better way of doing it.
Okay. How can they prove they are a doctor?
Just,
Go on, Carl.
something to do with,
Go on.
Go on.
Something to do with,
What thing could they say that we'd say, well, he's definitely a doctor, or we wouldn't know that? Think of something.
well,
Look
I'm
at
not
him.
a doctor, so...
We're on the radio, Carl. When we
No.
ask you a question, you've got to speak.
I know, I'm just thinking, I don't know how you'd know, because you never ask them, do you? If you need their help, you don't think of going, no, before you do this, do you know what you're doing? but saying that, right?
Go on. Go on.
Talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it now? Listen, a fella,
Play a
no, listen.
record.
Do you want,
Play
this
a
is, alright.
Alright, no, come on. Alright, he's got it now.
Go on, go on.
This fella goes
Yeah.
to the doctors,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, right, okay. Right, if this is in any way apocryphal, stupid, illogical, impossible, right, you are never, ever speaking again on radio. So make sure this is at least possible. I'll tell you what, I'll even give you improbable, but possible. So if anything that breaks the laws of the universe, or logic, okay, that's all you have to avoid. On you go.
Right, so this fella, right, he goes to the doctors because he's got earache.
Right. Okay, if a chimp's living in his brain, that he
Go
gives, go on.
So he's got earache, he's sat in the waiting room and his ears all bunged up and it's hurting a lot and what have you. So the doctor comes out and he goes, right, and because his ear's all bunged up, he doesn't hear it that well, right? So he thinks it must have been me, right? So he wanders in.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Anyway,
I'm gonna hate this. I can just feel it in my bones. Steve, I'm gonna let you take over. Okay,
Let's
go
go
on.
let's hear it. Come
so
on.
the doctor says, sit yourself down there, right? So he sits himself down, he goes, right, take your pants off, right? So he's thinking, that's a bit odd. Anyway, he
He heard that though.
he apparently he took his tackle off. The doctor, like, did some operation.
What, there in the waiting room?
No, in his office.
In his office, yeah.
What?
Wait, so he removed what? His genitals?
Yeah,
in his office.
Why, Carl? Why, Carl?
because he hadn't called him in.
Oh, he's calling the bloke who wanted his testicles taken off, and he didn't hear it. What? So the doctor went out and said, Mr. Jones, who's here to whip off your cock and balls, just here and now, right? Bloke comes in, didn't it? It must have been me. So the bloke who wanted his balls taken off didn't say, oh, I think he said me. So he didn't interrupt then. So the bloke goes in, he starts taking his testicles off, and he doesn't say, I'm here for me ears. It's a new single from Snow Patrol and Run. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Good stuff.
On XFM 104.9.
Rick,
Go on.
I'm about to say 3 little words to you
Yeah.
that I've never said to anyone before.
Go on.
Carl is right.
On what, though?
From Reuters, someone's emailed in, a Brazilian man who went to a clinic to have an aching ear checked ended up having a vasectomy after mistakenly believing that the doctor had called his name. He had gone in there, entered the vasectomy room when he was called. He was called by the full name and yet thought it was him. But the strangest thing is that he asked no questions when the doctor started preparations in the area which had so little to do with his ear. He later explained that he thought it was an ear inflammation that had got down to his testicles. And the fellas came off. Extraordinary.
Right.
I'm stunned.
Amazing, isn't it?
But there's lots of things that keep coming true with Carl's nonsense. There's a programme on next week. The boy who gave birth to his twin.
Oh.
And he's there, he's like pregnant with his thing, you know.
How long ago did we do that?
Yeah, you discussed that years ago.
When I talked about it, it was a baby who had a baby. Now it's a boy who's like a grown man and that. It's took them ages to sort that out. I did it in one link one Saturday with the full story. Right? Keeps happening. We've done like Donald McIntyre's thing, right? He's been ripping us off. I did Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
He's been doing it.
No, he hasn't.
He has. He's done some programme about how much it costs to get a monkey and that.
Right.
What else have we done?
He believes this.
Yeah.
There's loads of stuff we've done like that.
You had the maggot coming out of the head. I laughed at you, yeah. Didn't in the programme, didn't see him wrapping the head in bacon, but, I mean, the principle's there.
Bob Holness is ripped off Rockbusters.
Yeah, and he ripped you off years ago.
Yeah.
He's been ripping you off for years, which is even more annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
I love the fact that he's so Luddite now, he's annoyed at the sat-nav. I mean, you'd have probably given Columbus a hard time. Oh, got a compass. Don't you know where north is, you twat?
I just think there's something in being lost. I never feel lost. I just think, oh, I've had a diversion. Because you find new things. I'm forever going
Meanwhile,
down.
Suzanne's asking the French peasant where the...
I just think, you know, Columbus.
Alright, what's the most interesting thing you found when lost?
Like I say, they normally... I found a shop that was like a fancy dress shop.
Amazing.
Do you need fancy dress stuff?
Dressed
You
up
never
as
go out.
Columbus,
You never
went and
go
bought a
out.
sat-nav, went to Dorset for the weekend.
You never go out. Why do you need a fancy dress shop? That sounds like the sort of one thing you would hate is fancy dress.
Yeah, but I like looking at the... they have like a space helmet in there.
Right, so you found a fancy dress shop. Where are you supposed to be going that you had time to get sidetracked and go in a...
I think I was going to a meeting. Just cut
Amazing, that's the last time!
You want to get lost.
You don't want to get lost, do
because
we?
I always give myself loads of time because I get lost a lot. I always give myself...
Get a
sat-nav.
No, I'm just saying that's how you find little treats along the way. And next time you pass it, or next time someone says, "Do you know where the fancy dress shop is?" You go, "Yeah, I do."
You go, I have no idea because I was lost. I didn't know where it was.
No, normally I
Oh, well,
learn.
I'm not going to tell you, lazy cunt. Have you got an AZ? Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, find it yourself, you lazy twat.
So
What have you learned? You keep going on about all this learning. What have you learned?
What have you learned? Okay, sum up mankind's foray into the future. I want this. This will be the introduction to a book about the future. It will then be read in 100 years' time and go, Karl Pilkington was the most prophetic genius that's ever walked the earth. These are his words from 2010.
Just some predictions.
Just sum it up. Just sum it up. I believe. Start off with, I, Karl Pilkington, believe that mankind in the future will. Okay, start off
and
with that
then what?
sentence.
Just have like a top 5.
Well, no, or just
Or maybe just predictions.
Just predicting time.
Yeah.
So
and
just-
then a little thing to remember. And remember ye this. So I, Karl Pilkington, predict that in the future mankind will. Start off with that. Start off with that sentence. I've given you that one.
All right, I'm Carl, and the future.
He's already gone off road.
It's a scary place, but the future's got to happen. Right? There's no getting away from that.
Yep. Okay, your predictions are...
Well, we're all.
It's not a soundbite.
Keep going,
hang on a
give him
minute.
space,
This
give him
is in a book. I've got to think about. I don't want to get it wrong.
Think first. Think, and then say it. Okay, starting from now. These words of wisdom will be inscribed on a wall of a museum one day. Proceed.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution, just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser, because it's dropping incrementally
Well, you see now,
down
you can
the
see
arse.
kids' underpants, so they're just dropping.
Yeah,
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
right.
Prediction 1.
Okay,
That's an amazing one.
They'll stop making trousers in the future, okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened. They used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'd probably put that first because the guy's right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number
Give
1.
him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. Now they're saying put them down. You can. I've never had such fucking dribble.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, ooh, what can number 3 be?
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh, God!
No, because
I honestly thought then he was going to make a point about race. When he said, I never thought it would be, we'll blend all our food.
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
We had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say they'll take them out. You're not using them.
Yep.
Why are you not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet.
Yep.
Soups.
Yeah.
You know, everything's softer,
Just
isn't it?
those
When you get an
two,
avocado, they say, is it soft? Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a thing of the
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, hurry up, eat that. You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, hurry up. Like, I'm still eating
Well,
it.
he does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth. Done trousers. I've come up with this idea. It's sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5. Fuck me.
So what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what
paradise.
you want to see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you walking around? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No.
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an
It's
urban
got loads of
ghetto.
graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental, pointless, would
What?
never work. Absolutely
But
one of the
older-
maddest
So
things you've ever said.
really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily
Why
done.
would it be? Okay,
Because-
that last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of
No, we
words
are.
now.
We are definitely running out
Just
of words.
using, just using the letters we've already got and
yeah.
making new words.
Yeah, we're making, yeah.
No, but we haven't got enough now.
Of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's
Yes.
before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
They go mental with the L. now, what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're
We're
not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. I mean, it's a stupid...
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
Have you just made that up?
No, it's no, they go, I knew with Boswellots and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to, they come up with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word.
Is that real? You've made that up, is
No,
it?
I haven't. That's a real word.
Boswellocks, yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago, when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds. That sounds all right.
He likes sodium. He doesn't
happy
like
with that.
Because it
Boswellots.
sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswallocks? Are you winding me up,
No,
the two
it's
of you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, "What's that letter doing in there?" Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of the word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
What?
All
Tell me a
words have
word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent
Oh.
something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
Where's your head at? Basement Jacks. Right, okay, let's get this right.
Have we knocked this on the head then? Is this not happening?
Oh, here he is. Look.
Here he is.
Come in.
How have you... Oh, God.
I don't believe that.
Oh, that's pathetic.
I do not believe that.
That's absolutely pathetic.
Now, they won't believe this, will they?
No.
Right, if I say that Jonathan Ross just got his massive member out, and he is a big lad, come and sit down.
I've got your tickets, Mr. Gervais.
Thank you.
What's going on here then? I mean, why are you dropping off tickets?
Well, because, you know, in the spirit of the Comedy Awards, we like to have the rising young stars of the British Comedy
That's
Awards.
right, and that's me.
Well, we couldn't find any this year, so we've asked Ricky whether he would sit in the rising young star seat, and I wanted to deliver the tickets personally, so there's no excuses if he doesn't turn up later.
Yeah.
I always suspected that you were sort of pretty well endowed.
Yeah.
And now we've seen. You know, it's on webcam.
That was just one of my cocks.
That's the one you're wearing today. Don't say that. No, we were
This is meant to be the happening young station. What's going on?
No, you can't say stuff like that.
You can't.
Just careful what you say. Look after Julian Clary. Take his wilderness and he comes back in a person like.
Ten years
and
of
that can
wilderness.
happen to you.
That's Jesus you're thinking of, isn't it?
Just because you're on everything at the moment.
I walked in here and I came in here and I thought this is the young happening place, and what do I see in here? 3 old men sitting.
What are you talking about? I'm only 28, 27.
You're wrecked. You all look wrecked. Well,
Well, that's because we're always partying.
I was looking for some youngsters. Where's the youngsters? I wanted to see some tight leather pants. I wanted to see some foxy chicks hanging on you every word. What is it? It's a bunch of old blokes and a bloke up there washing up in a sink.
But look at him. He even dresses for radio. Look
This
at
is
him.
ludicrous.
It's amazing. Looks like you're
I love the fact you were on the phone to Gervais last night, weren't you? Asking his advice on clothes. Look at him. He's going for the man down the DSS.
I like that look. That's a nice look.
Have you got a single pair of trousers that aren't elasticated at the waist?
They're maternity jeans, aren't they? They've got a whole panel that pulls
The
forward.
thing is, what I do at the end of the week, I can pop these in a pan and I can make a nice soup with all the food that's encrusted in
At
them.
his years as a homeless coming to the fore there.
Look at you,
But
one
why-
step away from Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
I'd like to be that bit closer.
But why are you dropping off tickets? Are you a little bit... Because I thought you were married and stuff. Why do you suddenly got this obsession with Gervais?
Because
I'm a bit rough, ain't I?
yeah, it's like when you see Dale Winton out with those rough boys. I'd like to get one of my own.
When a top celebrity in a lovely looking suit walks down the corridor with his penis out,
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that I'm still an attractive
You know
man.
you've arrived. I was inaugurated the same way. For me, it was Des O'Connor. It's like it's the passing on of the baton, if I may use that euphemism. and you've been battened.
But it's fantastic.
Well,
It is a pleasure. I don't think I'm complacent just because I'm mixed with you. I still wake up and think, I don't believe it. I'm mates with Jono.
Can I just point out one thing? I was listening to the show last week and I heard you, as always, revealing a little too much about yourself, if you don't mind me saying so.
Yeah.
Steve tried.
Not as much as you.
No, but that was just for the benefit of the room.
Yeah.
And talking about when you used to occasionally urinate in the sink.
Yeah.
I was possibly- When you were around my house last time and I came in the kitchen and you looked a bit shifty. No, please reassure me.
It was more ownership. That I was like, I went to my territory, and then other people that come in, and go, has Gervais been round here? It's like just marking my territory.
Because my coffee the next morning had a hazelnut tang to it that I don't remember putting in.
Can I just say something? Because I mean, I used to, you know, mention to you, Gervais, when we first started getting involved in the business.
Yeah.
I should say, if there was one celebrity I'd like to be friends with, it's Jonathan Ross.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Ricky's befriended Jonathan Ross. I'm nowhere to be seen.
But
Not
Ricky
invited
told me-
round.
Ricky told me that I could be his friend, providing I never extended the arm of friendship.
Right.
with you.
Yeah, if you ever.
I thought as much.
He tries to keep everyone else down he works with, from the office, all the other shows. He tries to keep them down. He's
I didn't even want you to
number
come
one.
in. I wanted to meet you on the steps.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to tell you you were around. But you called. He went, who's that? And he saw your name come up and he went, well, can I meet him?
Well, you're coming tonight, though, aren't you?
This isn't Radio 2, by the way. These links are way too long. This is snappy radio. We have to play out.
Yeah.
You might
The
be
kids have
Jonathan
lost
Ross,
interest.
But the kids want to hear Coldplay, Catatonia,
You know what I'd like?
Faithless.
How about some more of that instantly forgettable hip-hop you play each week? One of those obscure hip-hop hooray. That's the worst feature on British radio. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Wait a minute, I've heard your quiz on Radio 2. Having a laugh.
The hip-hop's had its day. You should be that one.
Put it away. Put it away.
I'm Carl.
Carl, how you doing?
I'm alright. Got a question for you.
Quiet man.
Got a question.
Yeah.
The Pope.
Yeah.
What semi-precious stone does the Pope wear?
It's easy.
Go on.
Topaz.
Is that the right answer?
I don't know. I might have wrote it down.
I'm really sorry, Jonathan.
It's not what he publicly admits to, but I have to know because I was hanging out with him at the Groucho one night, and he was saying, "Oh, look at this, look at this, look at that toe bench. Go and buy that. Look
at that.
Vatican City."
Look at that. We can make a nice ring out of that, he said.
Didn't go anywhere, but thanks for asking. I better go. I've got to go. I've got to go and buy some winkle pickers.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Enjoy
Nice to meet you,
it.
Stephen.
Yes.
Carl, I wish I could say it'd been a pleasure, but actually it was quite creepy.
See you later.
Thanks.
Question, please.
You Too, Beautiful Day.
Yep.
Now, I was just saying that's probably one of my singles of the year, but was it this year or the year before?
Oh, crumbs, I don't know.
It was, I think, was it 2000, the album? It was the first one off the album. Maybe that could be a question. No, we need the answer, don't
Well,
we?
we don't know the answer.
No, it's called...
Can I just ask, Jonathan Ross just came in there to drop off some tickets for the Comedy Award show that he's hosting
Yeah.
later this evening.
Yeah.
Interesting, of course, a man who's 40 and still thinks it's funny to get his penis out.
It is,
I love that, because it's like, when's that novelty going to wear off?
74, 75, when it's just too horrible to show
Exactly,
in
yeah.
public, I imagine.
But so he dropped off some tickets for you.
Yeah.
Was asking you fashion advice last night.
Yeah.
He came after a 3-hour radio show he's just done on Radio 2. Good show, by the way, worth tuning in to. He came straight around here, dropped some tickets off for you. He's now got to go and rehearse that show.
A lovely man.
I was out with you last night.
Yeah.
Went into this pub, like, kind of, that we've been to a few times before. Went in there, and this guy came in and said, "Your usual table, Ricky?" Your usual table. Can I just ask you 2 questions, Godfather? One is... Have we won a prize tonight? On
I
the National
don't
Comedy
know.
Awards?
We genuinely
And 2,
don't know.
Can you have someone iced for me? It's ludicrous. What have you suddenly got over all these people that they're doing all this for you? When have you suddenly become the daddy?
Well, I came from nowhere, and I've got Polaroids of the head of all the
Right, yeah,
stations.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because what I'm worried about is that, like, when we're wrapped up in our winter coats,
Yeah.
you're walking on there in your little sort of, little black overcoat, and I must look like your hood. Do you know what I mean? Like your goon that walks with you. Twice as tall.
Very much like Edward G. Robinson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are with
yeah.
a pug face, obviously.
Yeah. Well, don't go on about it.
Sorry, it was a bit
Freak.
hard. All right, no, I don't know. You just
Wow.
know that. There's something
We've
in the
knocked
piece
it.
like that.
Even Jonathan Ross couldn't save this show.
No.
It's the only A celebrity I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
it.
out of ideas. I thought we'd have a trivia game. That's rubbish because he can't read.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what is it?
So
It's-
are we knocking the trivia game on the
Yeah, yeah.
Should we, let's have one final question.
what-
What's the answer?
What about
I
the
don't
answer?
know. I don't know.
For the Pope one.
I don't know.
We couldn't even figure out the question, Carl.
What's the stone? What's the stone?
Hang on a minute.
Just entertain yourselves at home while Carl looks for the question.
Anthurst.
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Yeah.
Amthirst. No, she was the first woman MP, I think you'll find. Amthirst. Ruby or Diamondo?
So have you got maybe a final question,
That's
Carl?
still one
that
on
can
it.
decide-
Okay,
is
do a
this one on
decider
it?
and then we knock this on the head.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Where? What?
Who?
Have you not been practicing in all these? We've had ads, we've had music.
Oh, where? What?
Rick, I don't think we should call ITV later.
With
this.
Maybe he was talking about Jonathan's inquiry about sartorial elegance tonight. Where
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like summed up that
Yeah.
conversation in
What's
just
the
two.
most expensive pub in London? Ricky won't know because he never pays.
Hang on, wait a minute. What does that mean?
What does that mean? You want me to buy? I'll buy the pub. How much is that? It's £1 million,
No, like,
sir.
if you go in, according to the Time Out Guide 2001, if you went in there and bought a big round, it's a day pub.
It's an expensive pub.
Imagine this on Millionaire. Imagine that question
Why
on
is it all
Mastermind.
too vague?
I know your specialised subject, how much things are in that, and whether they make you fat when you eat them. Then
It's in London.
Is this like some guy went in the pub last night and thought, this is a bit pricey? This is the
I'm
most
not gonna
expensive
do-
pub
I'm
I've
gonna-
ever been in.
I'm going to expose them
Exactly.
on Ricky and Steve's show.
But does it mean like maybe is it a pub or a club maybe where you've got to be a member?
No, it's a pub. I'll narrow it down. It's in Covent Garden.
Punch and Judy.
That's it.
Has he got it right?
Yeah.
Well, I have to hand it to you. Well done.
Yeah,
So
brilliant.
So who was that? Who was that question from? Because maybe that they should get these 3 CDs.
Let's give them that.
Who is it, Carl?
There's no way of verifying that. That's probably libelous. They've probably
it's from
made.
the Time Out Guide.
Okay. All right.
Carl, who
What are
was
you
it?
moaning for? You got it right.
Yeah, I won. Yeah. I won.
Carl, who was it that won? Well, listen, they know, so they've won.
Yeah. Right.
This is genius radio. This is
I
brilliant.
tell you
We're
what's
slick.
letting us down? Him.
I know.
KP the P-Man. When he was just doing the press buttons and it was cool. Now we let him on the air because we thought it was funny. We quite like him. He's digging a grave for us. Right, listen, this is a new feature I've introduced called Songs I'd Like to Play on the radio. And
Oh, this is falling apart.
and a friend of mine sent me a little CD of little treats and stuff. And one of them is this track. It's called Monkey Man. It's from the Rolling Stones. Play it, Carl. It's an absolute gem.
Press that. And what was that again, Steve?
Rolling Stones and a track called Monkey Man. That's from a double CD, not available in the shops. My friend Dave G made a compilation for me, birded it onto CD using modern technology. That's one of the tracks on there.
What's his name?
Dave Greenwood, obviously breaking several copyright laws there.
Exactly.
I would not encourage anyone to make copies of anything for anyone. It's breaking
His
the law.
name again, if the police are listening?
Dave Greenwood lives in Nottingham. I can
How
give details.
dare he do that for you?
It sickens me, Rick.
He's making you receive,
Stolen goods,
Yeah.
and there's various artists on there who've barely got a penny, who are losing money hand over fist. The Rolling Stones, for instance.
Yeah,
The
and
Doors.
XFM have done that as well, played it off, and that's terrible. Now we've implicated those as well.
XFM are culpable, so is Dave G. Thankfully not us, Rick.
No.
We're just middlemen caught up in it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Biggs behind it.
There's always Mr.
Just
Biggs,
pawns in his game. Aren't
And,
we?
so that's, I'll be playing another track from that later on.
I've got a lovely couple of little tracks on my hip hop selection.
Looking forward to it.
Is
Incidentally, can I just ask, Rick, did you get a little gift here from XFM?
I did. I got a lovely little voucher here. It was very nice.
You're very thoughtful. I've also got one. How much is yours for?
£25.
To spend at John Lewis or Waitrose.
Yeah.
A little kind of gift voucher there.
I think I'll do Waitrose, because food, you can get a good lot of food for 25 quid.
You're absolutely right.
You can't get a lot of like haberdashery for 25 quid. So I'll be going with the food option.
The thing about the gift voucher, a lot of people were, I'm sure, receiving these over the Christmas period. The thing about the gift voucher is it's like here's £25,
Yeah.
but I've limited where you can spend it.
It's like they don't want to give money because that's go. Say this is like money, but not as versatile.
Exactly. You can't spend it in as many places. But it's the thing is that surely the thing about a gift is, you don't want people to know how much it was.
And unless you're letting them make their ideas up for next year.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If an aunt gives you like a single, like a step single, and you've given her 25 quid at the body shop, you're saying, you know how much that single costs.
Exactly.
So do I. I'm not going to say, right?
Yeah.
Let's make up the difference next year,
Exactly.
aren't we? You know what I mean? Let's spend 50 quid on me next year.
Yeah.
Do you know how much he got?
How much did you get? Did you get a gift voucher as well?
Yeah, but I work here all week.
Right. How much do you get?
150.
150 quid?
Yeah.
What, in gift vouchers?
Yeah.
To spend at the same places? I'd have to say, though, I mean, it's not a very inventive gift, is it?
It's a
Whoever came
lovely
up with it,
thought, though.
it's a lovely thought. It's wonderful to have £25 that I can only spend in 2 places I never go in. But, no, I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Any
I'm not
ungrateful, anyway.
looking a gift horse in the mouth. It is a treat.
He
My
spoke to Jonathan Ross like he was a normal person.
From someone whose dad buys him a spade for Christmas, I thought you'd be grateful.